Yes. Yes, they should have never done it. They should have never, ever done it. Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. Oh, my God. It's been all week. It's been all week, man. This is the longest I've gone without doing the show, man, since I've been doing this, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody out there. Get wasted with your brother, Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this thing out to all social media outlets, from Facebook to Snapface to Twitter. Everybody on Twitter, come on over to YouTube. We have cookies, but you can stay on over there. So, what's good, everybody? You know we don't cook unless we got 100 in the room, y'all. So let me give my shout out to salutations to everybody in the room. My guy, Desert Raider, Circle of Life Media, Beto, my dog Patrick B is in a place to be. What it is, Patrick B? What it is, man. There's a lot going on, yo. There's a lot going on. We're going to get into it. We got almost 80 in the room. We're almost to 100. We got to get over that 100 so we can cook a little bit, y'all. I mean, what the F is going on here? Where the hell have you guys been? I mean, what the F is going on here, man? But in all seriousness, guys, we got 90 in the room. That's good enough, man. Top of the evening to everybody. Pay your bar tabs. Get wasted with your brother Wasted. Now, we got to get into a few things. We're going to get into the injury report. We're also going to get into the fact that the trade deadline is coming up in the National Football League. What are the Raiders going to do, if anything? And if you guys looked at the thumbnail, it was not my best work, but I wanted to talk about this, man. There are rumors. There are articles out there that's actual proof that, the Raiders are looking, and we got over 100 in the room. Get wasted with your brother Wasted, man. That the Raiders are looking to stand pat at the trade deadline, man. Now, it's crazy because when you look at what's going on with the Las Vegas Raiders, right, you would feel like, well, damn, we traded Davante Adams, sell. That's what you would think. We are in the basement of the AFC West. We're in the basement of the AFC West. And for me, as a fan, what I don't want the Raiders to do, and I don't want to jump the line, but I don't want the Raiders to jump and jump over the idea of unloading some unfavorable contracts, guys that might be able to help other teams out, right? But according to sources, the Raiders don't have many players that will garner significant, draft capital in return. And, Mark Davis and Tom Telesco still don't view this as a full-scale teardown, despite the current struggles of the team, right? There remains internal optimism that if they nail next offseason, they could become a competitive team as soon as 2025. Now, look, I also believe that, right? But I believe that on one side of the coin, the Raiders don't need to do a full rebuild. You got guys like Robert Spillane in this building. You got Max Crosby in the building, bro. You have pieces. You have Nate Hobbs in the building, right? You have Jackson Powers Johnson, Brock Bowers. You got pieces. You got pieces. But I'm going to be honest with you. There are a lot of people who are in this building that the Raiders should try to gauge and garner a little interest from. Number one being Colton Miller. Colton Miller is a guy who has been one of our best linemen. He's been one of the better draft picks we've taken in the last 10 years. And a lot of people will say, Wasted, this is blasphemous. Why the F are you talking about trading Colton Miller? I'm going to tell you why. Colton Miller is a guy who can help out a team that's in contention because he's a damn good tackle, right? He's also a guy who we don't really know what kind of future we have with him. We don't know whether Colton Miller is going to be built for it tough, if he's going to be out there, if he's going to be ready to rock and roll, and we can depend on Colton Miller. Now, I got to say before I get to rocking and get to cooking, this show is powered by BetUS, America's number one and most comprehensive sports book. So I want you guys to go on over to BetUS. I want you guys to go and make your deposit up to $2,000 for over. Wait, hold on. up to $2,000 for 150% of that first deposit, 125% of the next two deposits, up to up to $2,000. Let me tell you guys something. The best sports book on the market. Going over to BetUS. Tell them Wasted Talent sent you. And this show has been powered by BetUS. Listen, also another guy that the Raiders need to start thinking about moving on, bro. Andre James. Because to me, it is clear to me that he is not the answer at center. I like Andre James, but it is clear to me watching just in a very small sample size that I have of Jackson Powers Johnson playing center, it is clear to me it is time to move on for Andre James. And that's a contract that you would want to trade as opposed to cutting because of the fact that he still has some dead money there. We're going to go out there. We're going to look at Andre James' contract. I want to give my shout out to salutation to everybody in the room. Is James? See, this is the problem with Andre James. Andre James right now, Hot Beavers, Andre James is a guy that is actually hurt right now, right? So he's not tradable now. So before this show, and before all of that, Andre James is a guy who was on my mind to be traded, but who knows if he will be ready to rock and roll and whether he'll be healthy before the trade deadline. So, we gotta kind of pump the brakes on Andre James. But Colt Miller is as healthy as can be right now, right? So I want to go over really quickly the injury report. Now, Andre James' ankle, he did not practice. He has been ruled out. He has a significant injury. Max Crosby, his high ankle sprain, full practice Wednesday, full practice Thursday. Friday did not practice. I think that's more of a maintenance thing. Think he will be playing. Brock Bowers had a little rib injury. Full practice. Harrison Bryant, limited practice, full practice Friday. So we are going to get a little 12 personnel back in our offense. Harrison Bryant will be back this week. Jack Jones, full practice. Jacoby Myers on injury list, full practice. Colton Miller, limited on Wednesday, but full practice Thursday. And today he was a full practice. So he's ready to rock and roll. Trevor Merring, full practice with his hamstring. Dylan Parham is questionable. Limited practice. So he is trending towards coming back. Spill did not practice. Questionable. Now, Robert Spillane is a guy that has me very, very concerned. He did not practice all week. He had a knee injury. It looked like his season was over. And I hope this is not the kind of injury where Robert Spillane, he went out there and played off adrenaline, and now he's in a bad situation. I'm hoping not. That guy's like damn near the heart and soul of our defense. Zamir White with a quadricep injury, a limited practice, did not practice. Full practice today. We will have Zamir White riding the pine tomorrow. Hopefully they let him loose, right? Orlando Browns Jr. did not practice. He is doubtful for the game. Offensive tackle for the Bengals. Joe Burrow, full practice, right wrist. He's going to be fine. Good to go. T. Higgins, quadricep injury, did not practice. He's doubtful. And T. Higgins is also a guy that's in a lot of trade discussions. So, it's a little, it's iffy if they want him to even go out there, right? Chris Jenkins Jr., full practice. He will be out there with a thumb injury. Sam Hubbard, the defensive end, full practice. He's going to be playing. Charlie Jones is questionable. Did not practice. He has a groin injury. Wide receiver Charlie Jones. And the thing about it is when you have a wide receiver with a hamstring injury, it looms very large because he can't really sprint like that. Aramis Mims, tackle, full practice. Looks like he's going to be playing. Geno Stone, the safety, has a shin issue. Did not practice today. He's questionable. And Zach Moss, the young halfback, with a neck injury, did not practice Friday. He is doubtful for playing. So these are all of the people, as of right now, on the injury report. Now, guys, let's get back to what we were just talking about, man. Shout out to over 200 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, wasted, tell a friend to tell a friend. My brother, the Kevin Nash of Shieldmore, has come and sprinkled 5 Raider Nation Unlimited Wasted Talent memberships to the masses. Everybody who received a free membership, thank you. Thank you for all of the members, too, for supporting the channel, keeping the lights on here at Shieldmore. Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you, man. Thank you, my brother. Hot Beavers. The guy. Harrison Bryant makes a big difference. Spillane is a huge loss. Time for Amari Burney to step up. Yeah, look, man, if we're looking for Amari Burney to step into the role of Robert Spillane, we are smoking D&D. That's probably not going to happen, right? Hopefully he can step up and in a way where, we can really see what we have. See, at this point in the season, guys, look, man, if I'm being honest, right, Can the Raiders, turn the season around theoretically and mathematically? Yeah, right. But is it likely? Probably not, right? Let's just be honest. Most likely not. Right. So when we start looking at this season, we start looking at what the goal is for us as fans, right? The goal is for us to get as many answers on this roster as we possibly can, man. That is what the goal is for me. I want to see whether Amari Burney's a guy I can rely on. I want to see whether or not, Amari Gaynor is a guy I can rely on. I want to see whether or not the Divine Diablo experiment is truly over and should it be over. I want to see if Tommy Eichenberg could be that guy. I need to see this. I need to see Jacorian Bennett. I need to see Decameron Richardson. This is what I need to see, man. For us to even get a whiff at the playoffs, we would need to run the table. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm a little frustrated. And I don't know whether this is just fodder from the media, but this is one of the reasons why I am frustrated that the Raiders have not decided to move on from some of the guys on this roster that have value, i.e. a Jacoby Myers, i.e. a Colton Miller, i.e. a Andre James, if possible. I'm going to be honest with you. I have problems with that because, see, this is one of the things that the Raiders have done in the past that I really don't mess with. You have guys on this roster, in the last year they deal, you have chances to deal them, send them different places, things like that, to get some draft compensation to make you a more viable team. And for me, right, that's the difference between turning an organization around on his head in 1 year and not. Being willing to take the road less traveled. I'm going to be honest with you. Being willing to swing big. Being willing to take the road less traveled. I have huge, huge issues with the Raiders not doing that. Mark Davis Hooker, he says, worst ownership in sports. You can't possibly feel like Mark Davis is the worst owner in professional sports, bro. That's a stretch, my brother. My dog, David Walker, salute, my brother. Happy Friday. Salute to my Essex County brethren. Shout out to you, my dog. But to me, hey, chat, I need you guys to get involved with me here, man. I need y'all to listen. I need you guys to get involved with me, man. Giving away players isn't swinging big. It's self-destruction. No. It's reality. You're not giving anything away, right? So when you look at your roster and you look at whether these guys are part of the problem or part of the solution, when you start looking and seeing, hey, man, am I going to really sign this guy next year or this year? Am I going to give him a boatload of money? Do I feel like I can improve that position in free agency at the draft? And having the wherewithal to know that, hey, man, if I get some draft compensation, I can rebuild this thing in 1 year. Is this guy a foundational piece or is he an ancillary piece? What can we get out of this? This is what I mean. So it's not giving anything away. I need for us to stop being so nostalgic. I'm going to be honest with you. I am going to need for the Raider fans to be more realistic. I'm going to need that. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Dark Phoenix. Anyone who thought we had a chance at the playoffs just don't know football or people we signed. I knew we were effed when we hired Getsy and Minshew and JJ left us with no real running back. Bro, listen, It's very easy being a Raider fan to kind of err on the side of negativity, bro. It's super easy to do that, bro. We haven't been very good over the last couple of years. You have not landed on Plymouth Rock, nor have you landed on the moon with that. Nor have you landed on the moon with that. So, like, bro, listen, you're not. That's not impressive to me. It's not impressive to me, bro. Come out here and be positive, and then I'll give you props on that. Don't think that you're some impressive cowboy because you thought that this season was going to suck. Like, get the F out of here with that. Come on now. Sorry, I got to text my daughter, man. The Raiders roster has the kind of gems where, this season could have went really, really good. Right? But if things didn't go right for us from an injury standpoint and we didn't protect Minshew, it can go really, really bad. But listen, and bro, it's reality. And this is what I'm preaching, right? This is what I'm preaching. So the reality is this team is what it is. And for me, I feel like it's time for the Raiders to look up and down his roster and try to get as much draft capital as possible. The way you build a solid organization is through the draft and sprinkle a little free agency in there. And you want to make sure that the assets you have on this roster, if you lose them, that you get something in return for them. And that's really what I look at, man. My guy, David Walker, with a $5 holler. At this point, I want to see what our young players can do going forward. And that's all I want to see, Dave. That's all I want to see. I want to see the Trey Taylors of the world. I want to see the Isaiah Powell Miles of the world cook. I want to see the DJ Glaze of the world cook. This is what I want to see, bro. I want to see JPJ play. I've seen enough of Andre James. If I'm the Raiders and he can get healthy before the trade deadline, I'll see if I have any takers and get him out of here. I'm gonna be honest with you. I am gonna be 100% honest with you, man. I mean, Coupon Tom needs to go big or go home with remaking this roster and within his image. Like real rap. And the thing with Tom Telesco is the one thing that I've seen that he's been decent at is the draft. I mean, he knocked it out of the park this year. Brock Bowers, Jackson Powers Johnson, DJ Glaze. These are foundational pieces that he found, man. Foundational pieces. And now the number one goal by a mile is to find a new quarterback for this organization in 2025. And the way that things are lining up, the Raiders are in sixth. They're picking sixth at this point, right? The Saints are right ahead of us. And it's like, look, for me, bro, the only metric is to make sure that you have enough, ammunition in the coffers to try to make a move up. I'm going to be 100% real with you. Yo, my guy DeMarcus Webb is in the place, man. DeMarcus Webb is in a place, man. Shout out to my guy DeMarcus Webb. Our margin for error feels like it's from year by year is razor thin. Wasted. Did you see Mike Williams was originally in the DA trade, but the Jets want a draft pick in return? Yeah, I saw that, man. And to be honest with you, bro, I'm glad that Coupon Tom was smart and he stood pat because, look, Mike Williams is, like on paper, looks like a guy you would want in your building. He looks like a guy that you can develop. He looks like a guy that you, as a GM, would not be mad having in your building. And Coupon Tom is a guy who drafted a guy. But I'm not giving a draft pick for Mike Williams. I'm sorry. I'm trying to just get draft compensation in return. Take that contract, give me your draft picks, and get out my face. That is where I am with this with the Raiders. The Raiders need as much ammunition as possible, man. Look, my guy, Brucey Billions, man. Get as many picks as possible just in case we need to trade up. Andre James, for sure, can kick effing rocks. That's what I'm talking about, man. OD Raider. He goes, I don't see Andre James getting his center position back, so he might as well try to deal him. I can't see JPJ ever relinquishing that spot. And, bro, it was weird to me. And you guys know, full disclosure, I want an Edrin Cooper. the linebacker that wound up going to Green Bay. I wanted him. I think he's going to be a phenomenal player in this league. But I'm glad that we took JPJ. The only thing with taking JPJ for me was like, well, damn, you just gave Andre James all that money. What are you going to do with him? Like, are we drafting this guy to play out of position? Because then that's a problem to me as well, right? So we didn't do that. Now you see what the kid can do. And now it's nasty work. Now you almost have to hope for Andre James to get healthy enough for you to deal him. You have to. You almost have to. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to the almost 400 in the room. Get wasted with your brother. Wasted, man. Yo, my guy Martin. Our starting squad for week 1, game 1 wasn't terrible. Injuries have exposed a lack of depth on the squad. And key players haven't performed as well as they hope. Look, man, the thing about that is, bro, when you don't have your full myriad of talent, you're kind of at the mercy of the football gods, right? And the football gods got us in hell this year. They do. They really do, man. I mean, every time we turn around, there's an injury. Every time we turn around, it's a controversy. I mean, just every time. This season was not meant to go well. You could just see it, bro. You could see it. It was not meant to go well, and it has not been going well. And I'm okay with the reality of saying, listen, man, let me load up my coffers as much as possible so I can go and get as high as I can in this draft. My guy Edgar Bonilla with the $2 smash. QB Garrett Nussmeier from LSU is grown on me. He is to me too, man. I was looking at some film on him. He's another guy that I have on my list. Yo, DPH Raider, you must not watch this show, bro. He goes, how do you feel about Drew Aller? Been watching Penn State, Ohio State game. Listen, let me tell you something, DPH Raider. He's my favorite quarterback in the whole draft, bro. A lot of people say he needs time to go back to school. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm cool with drafting Drew Aller this year. I'm cool with that. I look, now Shedeur, a lot of people love Shedeur. I love Shedeur. Think Shedeur is a beast. But let me tell you something, man. That kid Drew Aller it reminds me of like a Josh Allen kind of talent. Big, strong arm, can move, can fit the ball in the windows. I'm going to be honest with you. Drew Aller is my guy. A lot of people say he should go back to school. I want to see him come out this year. And the crazy part about it is this. I don't necessarily think that Drew Aller is going to be one of the first quarterbacks taken. I'm fine. If they take Cam Ward and they take, Shedeur, to me, you have to take Aller. You have to. You have to. I'm sorry. I am that sold on him, man. Dave, look, do me a favor, bro. Yo, whatever your hit me on Instagram. I'll send you some stuff to check out Aller with. I'll send it to you, bro. I'll send you some stuff to check out Aller with. Trust me, bro. Trust me. Yo, my guy John Bajus. I've been saying my top 3 is Ward, Aller, and Rourke. That's respectable. That's respectable. Everybody changing their avatars is throwing me off. Ben Bad is in the place. The Get Off My Lawn General is in the place. I'm starting to think Drew. Listen, let me tell you, he's big, he's strong, he throws the ball hard, he's in the Power 5 conference. I love Drew Aller. Oh, here you go. Scouting the helmet and not the player. Don't do that, Kenny P99. Don't do that. I remember people were saying, oh, my God, look at C.J. Stroud. He's an Ohio State quarterback. They're never worth the shit. Look at it now. Look at you now. Look at you now. You wish we would have took C.J. Stroud. Zay, LR is a project QB. It's not pro ready unless he's getting a new staff. I don't trust the new coaches we got based on past situations. And LR is more like Big Ben and not Josh Allen. Listen, potato, right? I tend to think he's a lot like, because he can move a little bit. He moves a little bit better than Big Ben, to be honest with you. And I'm going to be honest with you, bro. All of these guys are supposed projects. I love the offense that they run at Penn State. I love the offense that Franklin run at Penn State. It's a pro-style offense. I beg to differ, bro. The Wasted Equinox. Enjoy your weekend, Wasted. I'm checked out for the season like 2 weeks ago, and yet you're still here, my brother. You are still here because you're a sick puppy just like me. For you to compare him to Kristian Hackenberg is criminal, man. What the? Get that F out of here with that. What metric can you compare Drew Allard to freaking Kristian Hackenberg, man? That F is
tutorial that says you know what the fuck you doing.
What the F is wrong with you? The F is wrong with you, man. I enjoy the Wasted show more than the guy. I appreciate it, man. Look, I've been hearing that a lot. Yo, don't listen, bro. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. But yo, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Look, but I'm gonna tell you something, man. Listen, Drew Allard like your life depended on it, man. So today, the Raiders have made a move of such. I don't know if this is going to get you guys excited, but I gotta give y'all the news. The Raiders promote Ramel Keaton, and he signs a 2-year deal with the Raiders. He leaves the practice squad, signs the active squad for a small 2-year deal. Keaton is undrafted out of Tennessee back in May. He wound up making the Raiders active roster and coming out of the preseason, man. I mean, he's been kind of balling. I like Ramel Keaton, man. But, he got a small little deal. Shout out to Ramel Keaton, man. He is now one of the chosen ones now. Shout out to him, man. Appreciate the Raiders for, being proactive and shoring up some of their young talent. I mean, did any of you guys see the Antonio Pierce presser, man? Did anybody see that? Did anybody see that? Antonio Pierce gave his final remarks at the press conference on Thursday, man. And, I want to read some of this, and I want to know what you guys think about this, because I've been having a lot of people hit me on the inbox, and they're talking about, my stance on what's going on with Antonio Pierce, right? Now, they spoke about, some good players, man. Like some good players. I mean, yeah, he's one of the best. They're talking about, Justin Jefferson. They're talking about Jamar Chase. But my bad, man. That was Patrick Graham, but we got to get into something what Antonio Pierce talked about. Antonio Pierce talked about Trayvon Merrick and how playing in the box has allowed him to make more plays on the ball and what went into the transition of him, And I like what I'm hearing out of, Antonio Pierce, as far as, making some adjustments. I also love the fact that I think Antonio Pierce is starting to low-key call out not Patrick Graham, but Luke Getsy. I think, what's going to probably wind up happening if things don't improve during a bye week, you might see a change in the way the Raiders operate. I don't think that, Luke Getsy makes it out of the bye week, if I'm being honest. From what I'm hearing from Antonio Pierce, I'm going to be 100% real with you, man. I think we're going to see some changes after the bye week. I think whatever changes are going to happen during the bye week. Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Get Wasted with your brother, Wasted, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hold on. My guy, is Getsy going after the bye week? It's Spivey, you hit on it right there. You hit the nail on the head. I think he might be, bro. I think he might be. I think that if we lose to the Bengals, you are going to have people calling for everyone's head. And you kind of got to give the fan base their pound of flesh. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't see Getsy making it to the end of the season. I don't. The problem is, for Antonio Pierce, from a strategic standpoint, right? What happens if you get rid of Luke Getsy, right? And the team is still horrible. Now what? Who's the next person to go now? Most likely to be him. And that I think that's the tricky part about this. My guy, Ara Lalang. Thoughts on Quinn Ewers? I think he's super talented. I'm not a big fan, but I think Ewers is the kind of kid, if he goes in the right situation, he can flourish. Because he has all the tools, he can make all the throws. I'm just not a big fan of him. Alar's 6'5", 230, runs a 4.6, mobile pocket passer with sidearm ability. He poses quantifiable and elite arm strength. and could drive velocity all to all levels of the field. That's all. Look, bro, I don't need to read no more. That's all we want. That's all we want. Get posted with your brother, pasted to the telephone. The telephone get pasted with your brother, pasted. Telephone to telephone. The F out of here, Ray Rady. The F is going on here, man. Coming here with that nonsense.
God! Wow!
F I ever do to you? Shout out to Ray Raider, man. Graham K said, I think Getsy finishes the season. I don't know. Graham, I'll be real with you, man. I did too initially, but I'm starting to hear more and more and more and more people, even outside of Raider Nation, criticize how bad Luke Getsy is, right? So there's one or two ways to look at this. People could say, yo, the Raiders keep Luke Getsy. That's a guy that he has that he could throw under the bus when it's time for him to walk into the office and do his exit meetings to see whether he's going to stay here, right? But conversely to the fan base, if you allow Luke Getsy to do what he's been doing, you can lose the fan base in a big way. Because not only are you as a head coach a little inept and not really doing the best job in the world, but you are not doing what people who are trying to win do. People who are trying to win, when they know they have a sick situation in-house when it comes to their team, they cut that cancer out very, very quickly. They don't F around. They don't allow things like this to fester around the team. You know, and a piece of me kind of feels like the Raiders are going to allow Antonio Pierce to kind of gracefully bow out after this season, as opposed to firing him. I'm going to be honest with you. I would love if they had a situation where they can bring him and keep him on the staff in some kind of way, but I don't think so, man. Bruce Davis, look, we played a game of musical chairs and we were left without a chair. You know, I think the Kingsbury thing threw us for the loop, and some of the other candidates weren't people that they felt was ready and has not done it at an NFL level, and they wanted a guy who did it at an NFL level. With Luke Getsy, and you know, you get what you pay for when you bargain basement shop. We bargain basement shop, and that's what we get. Oh no, Spivey, I didn't miss it, bro. Definitely didn't miss it, bro. I will definitely read it again, my brother. Definitely read it again. Shout out to Kevin Ashim on Spivey. Is Getsy going after the bye week? Yeah. This is actually what I'm talking about, bro. I believe so. I believe if the Raiders have a putrid situation and we don't win and the offense just looks terrible and they're at the press conference and Antonio Pierce has to get up there and say the same stuff he's been saying for weeks and weeks on end, and he doesn't do something to address it, I think he's going to lose credibility with his players. Joe Philbin used to be good. I don't know how he is now. He's been out of the game a long time. He's up there with us, but, you know, Joe Philbin's up there in age, man. I doubt it. Say Ward and Sanders is off when we pick. Oh, so say Cameron Ward and Deion and Shedeur Sanders is off the board when we pick. You taking Drew with us with the 3rd or 7th pick, or waiting to take Travis Hunter and Gentry in the first round? Well, if I'm out of my quarterback sweepstakes, right, the first two guys, I like Alar, but Travis Hunter is such a talent. If he's right there, you got to take him. If your two best quarterbacks are off the board, you take Travis Hunter, and then you move back up and you get another quarterback. That's the way I look at it. AP said most of our losses have been one-score games. I only seen the last 2 losses. They were all ugly ones. Look, Antonio Pierce is going to say whatever he says to shape the narrative, right? That's what he's got to do. That's his job. Their jobs are to shape narratives, man. Right? We know what we're looking at, though. I know what I'm looking at. I know I'm looking at a team that is rudderless, and I don't want to hear that you lost by 1. You lose by 1 or 100, it's still a loss. It doesn't really matter to me. Yeah, Walker. Yo, I just had my coffee, bro. I just had it. I don't know what the F is wrong with me. Crazy thing is, I'm home alone. I have no one to go get the wasted coffee right now. No one. We'll have to continue to evaluate, but it's a very talented dependent. Yeah. Look, see, my thing is, Allah, I'm going to be honest with you, man. With Travis Hunter, man, it'd be him and Allah, man. It'd be him and Allah. Rage Ready said, "You're old, my brother." Look, man, I'm not old. I'm getting better, my brother. I'm getting better, Rage Raider. Relax. Listen, the great and powerful wasted talent has been cooking all day, man. I've been up since 4:30 in the morning, man. Yo, they said go grab another cup, wasted. We understand. Crazy, man. I'm gonna be all right. Yo, my guy, Jack Burton. This is New Jersey, Plainfield's very own Jack Burton. Alar is fire. Great skill set. Thank you, bro. Thank you. DPH Raider. If Doug Peters, look, we got to get this show back on the road here. I'm jumping all over the place. I think because I'm a little tired. I've been working my ass off all day. But it's okay, man. Y'all don't want to hear that. Yo, salute to everybody, man. Salute to everybody in here. Yeah, it's that gloomy Friday feeling. It has been. It's kind of a dreary day for a little bit. Then it got a little warm. It was all right, man. It was a cool day. They say I'm on senior citizen time, man. Y'all on some book. Yo, y'all are killing me, man. Killing me. Lunatics, Pale Moon, the great and powerful Dallas Cowboy aficionado, man. Wait, my guy DPH Red had to go. He goes, if Doug Peterson gets fired, would you want to replace AP? With Doug Peterson, I would prefer to replace Antonio Pierce with somebody that's up and coming, somebody who hasn't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like Doug Peterson, right? But the thing with Doug Peterson that would concern me is me having a disciple of Andy Reid in the same division with Andy Reid. So, like, I mean, look, the guy's accomplished. He's won a Super Bowl, right? But once again, if I go get Doug Peterson, I know I have the fourth worst coach in the division already. Again, right? If I go get Ben Johnson, who knows what Ben Johnson? He could be the most bright, young, and innovative mind in this league because he really hasn't had a chance really to prove his mettle as a head coach. But if any indication is from what he's done as an offensive coordinator, how that translates to being a head coach, if there's any correlation between it, I would much rather explore that option than bringing in a guy who's kind of, been out there and been through the ringer in the National Football League. Yo, my dog Graf is in a place to be, man. Shout out to my dog, man. My guy, Clone Avenger. Do you think Desmond Ridder, we see Desmond Ridder Sunday? Look, and it would be a dope story, right? Desmond Ridder played University of Cincinnati. He's a Bearcat playing with the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, look, it's like a storybook, right? Do I necessarily think he's going to play? I think Gardner Minshew played well enough to where they're not going to bench him against Kansas City. And there's been reports out there that that's the case. But I think that Gardner Minshew going forward is on a short leash, man. He's on a short leash. And Gardner Minshew's had a whole lot to say this week, man. He's had a whole lot to say. And, listen, man, I respect the kid, man. I respect Gardner Minshew, bro. But it's just like, damn, man, this guy is snake bitten, right? And I don't think that what we're doing offensively and the myriad of talent we have around him is something that is going to help, elevate his skill set. Now, he said at the press conference yesterday, man, he goes, I think most guys you have a chance to do right. He said on Thursday, guys can make it right on most plays. And I think that there were opportunities to do so. If you don't do it at the end of the day, we got to look at ourselves. Everybody's got to see, how can I do my job better? I think we're going to do that. I feel good about how we're approaching this week. The attitude of the guys, the attitude of the coaches. I think everybody's coming in and putting their work hat on, ready to get back at it. Now, that sounds all fun and good, right? But sometimes you get to the point where you just don't have enough talent on the roster, right? Sometimes you get to the point where you don't have enough talent in your body, right? Yo, Gardner Minshew can work as hard as he can. I think that he is a broken football player. I bullshit you not, yo. My guy, DPH. I don't know what the hell you talking about. Shout out to y'all in here, man. Shout out to all my peoples in the chat today, man. Got almost 500 in the room, man. Now, guys, really quickly, man. Out of everybody on our roster, because I want to make this today. I want to make this a more interactive show. I want to make this a show where you guys can get your questions in. We're going to go round and round. We're going to go full wasted talent round table. We have not done this in a long time. We have not done this. This is Round Table Fridays, everybody. Gather around the fire. Which player do you feel like the Raiders need to sign first this offseason? Is it Malcolm Kuntz? Is it Adam Butler? Is it Divine Diablo? Is it Robert Spillane? Trayvon Merring? Marcus Epps? Like, who are you guys going to sign first, man? All your money's on the table. Now, look, theoretically, I would sign Robert Spillane, right? But I got to see what that knee look like. It'd be, you know, it's funny. It'd be just our luck, man. It'd be just our luck that something's, you know, crazy's going on, man. Robert Spillane, we need to keep him at all costs, and Diablo can go. See, this is the problem, bro. With Spill, we got to see what's up with that knee, man. Let's just pray that it's not bad enough to where he's not going to be effective and it's going to affect his lateral movement and quickness going forward. So are we rooting for the win or the tank? Poll time. Oh, no. There will be no talk of purposefully losing. I think this team is bad enough to lose on their own. I'm going to tell you something. I think this team is bad enough to lose on their own. I don't think they have to do anything creative to not beat these teams. No tank. I think tanking is going to happen organically because this team isn't very good. It's already happened. This team is going to, you know, they say when you bound to Drizzle, this team's bound to Drizzle. The thing I need to know is going to the next season, I'm going to start it since we're doing the Q&A thing, right? I'm going to start it with y'all. How much faith do you guys have at this point in time with Antonio Pierce, right? Is Antonio Pierce somebody that you guys are in favor of bringing back? So what I'm going to do is we're going to do a little quick poll, right? If you're in favor of bringing AP back, put a 1 in the chat. If you're in favor for firing AP, put a 3 in the chat. No, 2 in the chat. And if you feel like AP needs to be developed, he needs another set of coaches, and he needs, hit me with a 3. Because I want to take the populace of the nation. I got to see this. Shout out to my guy, DeMarcus Webb. I see all of the numbers rolling in, man. I love it, man. Yo, my man, DeMarcus Webb, bro. Couldn't have said it better my damn self, bro. Kuntz is priority 1 if the knee is good to go. That's a fact. That's another guy that's a question mark that we got to bring back, and we got to see what kind of time he's on. We do. We got to see how he is physically. We got a bunch of 3s to hit now, man. Jeff T-Bay. How the hell are we going to get rid of a coach and expect it to be successful? Look, I'm asking you, bro. So, look, let me ask you a question. Have you never seen a team fire a short-time head coach and move on and start winning like that? I mean, I'm just asking because I know I've seen this game a long time. I've seen a team move on very, very quickly from their coach, get a new one, and turn everything around in 1 year. Case in point, the Texans. Be honest with you. Look at Washington. Guys, look, I'm just to the point where, listen, I have to be brutally honest with you. I know what I'm looking at out there. And I got people in my inbox and guys trying to get at me saying, why are you going after AP? I'm not going after AP. I really like AP, man. I really like him. I really wanted this to work. I wanted this to work. The problem with AP that I'm seeing has nothing to do with the amount of talent or lack thereof of talent on the field. The issues with AP are coaching issues. And the thing is that he's not ready for this particular he's not ready for this particular role. I don't believe so. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think so. I don't think that's something that you just develop in a vacuum. You don't just develop that nuance for being a head coach in a vacuum. I'm sorry. It's crazy. My guy Isaiah Randolph is in a place, yo. Wasted. What is the order of the team's needs in your eyes besides QB number one? What's the next one's in your eyes? Running back is definitely on the menu. Whether it's a guard or a tackle, guard and tackle is definitely a need. I mean, so it's quarterback, running back, offensive line, right? And then after that, when you start going to the defensive side of the football, you want to make sure that you have your edge rusher of the future. You want to go edge rusher. You want to address that again. You want to address the secondary, corner, stuff like that. I got Sweet Jazz with the $5 holla, man. Food for thought. We had a quality OC and QB. Will we be having this conversation about AP? Who knows, bro? Because what we're doing, we're not taking into account that there's a lot of things that have happened this year because of the lack of experience from AP. And that's experience that you really can't get being the guy. You can't see the forest from the trees a lot of times. You have to develop your coach muscles, so to speak. You do. There's some people that are just super brilliant. They can come right in and they can hit the ground running and they can flourish. But you got to look at how long they've been around the game on that side of the game. Antonio Pierce is a player. He's committed his life to playing the game, not coaching the game. And I think that coaches are made, they're not born. I think Antonio Pierce, had he waited, and hopefully this is not like, his last hurrah in the league, but he would be better suited to sit back and kind of like watch. Sit back and watch. Sit back and develop the nuance and the strategy and the brain for this shit. It can be developed if you're not being rushed. But when you're in a situation of leadership like Antonio Pierce, the nation can't be patient anymore with you. We can't have you, having us lose games because you can't make halftime adjustments. You can't have us lose games because in real time you need somebody else to kind of speak that language for you. And that's a fact. And people try to bring the Dan Campbell caveat. Let me tell you about something about Dan Campbell. They got that team. That team was horrible, right? The team was horrible. But the thing with Dan Campbell is when he came in with cap space. He came in with a GM that knows what the hell he's doing. I haven't seen them miss on a pick yet. They've been on a run with draft picks that is unprecedented. It's crazy how many people that, they have. Hold on real quick, man. Hold the F on, man. Hold the F on. What is going on here, man? What the F is going on here, y'all? My guy, Ruben Russ, is in a place, man. What does AP bring? Culture doesn't look set. He's had a year and a half to get that set. He's not a defensive guy. We are bottom of the league. He picked Getsy as a panic move. We got to do better. Ruben Russ, I couldn't have said it better myself, bro. My guy, James Lillard. Need to stop relying on 4th and 5th rounders and hit on our 1st and 3rd round picks. Can't expect picks 4 through 7 rounds and D picks to lead us, and that's a fact, man. And pause on the D picks things too, bro. My guy, Jack Burton, 37. Get AP the right players, QB, O-line help, and defense. We will be healthy and need an edge and a cornerback for sure. But see, that's the thing, bro. Why am I doing that with somebody that hasn't exhibited to me that not only did he not have close to the best resume, right? Why am I doing that and giving all of those assets to a guy that I have not figured out yet whether they are capable to take this mantra and run with it? Why would I do that? So I'm going to bring this new quarterback in for AP and Luke Getsy to ruin the kid? No. Let me tell you something. You have to. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm tired as heck, man. But we still here rocking and rolling. You have to, if you're the Raiders, you have to give the fan base some stability starting now. You got the foundation. You have some foundational pieces that you need to add to the foundation. But you have to give the Raider fan base something they can hold on to and something that's going to be sustainable. For real. Lee McKay. Firing AP without a QB. What sense does that make? He can grow into you don't grow into the job. Defensive plays, damn hard, need a QB, better offensive coordinator. No. You don't grow into a job in a way that he needs to grow. He's in over his head. He is in over his head, and you guys know I was screaming from the mountaintop from AP. But he's in over his head, and I'm not going to come on here and blow smoke up everybody's ass. I'm not going to tell y'all that I'm not seeing what I'm seeing. The man is in over his head, and ain't no two ways around that. It ain't no two ways around that. Sit up here and tell me that that's not the case. There's certain things that are going on with this team that is not just on the freaking players, bruh. It's not just on the players. Agent Zero versus Jamar will tell us if he's truly ready for number 1. Oh yeah, that you talk about a trial by fire. Beyond that, look, man, when you got guys that are in this building like Max Crosby, you gotta give. You have to pour into that. You got to keep them engaged. You got to make them feel like their contributions is not just happening in a vacuum. I'd much rather lose a coach I had for 1 year and a half than to lose an all-time great Raider on the field. And this is not just to placate Max. This is to build something special here. My guy, LS the Damager. It makes me laugh when people want Ben Johnson as head coach. Like he isn't going to go through the same trials and tribulations AP go through right now. He's not. He's not. I'm going to tell you why. Because he's been in a role of a coach longer than AP has. Ben Johnson has a playbook. Ben Johnson has them X's and O's offensively. He's a coordinator. AP was never a coordinator, man. He's a position coach. The learning curve is a lot steeper with Antonio Pierce. This ain't the traditional situation. And when you talk about the offensive coordinator, it is up to the head coach to address it if one of your coordinators is sinking you. It is up to the head coach. I'm sorry. And I'm not calling for AP's job. I'm saying that do not be surprised if a change is made. And if a change is made in their infinite wisdom, I'm okay with that. My guy to McFly, yo, wasted. You think AP is at the point of no return despite how many more wins we get this season, if any? Just joints and not sure if you touched on it. No. Look, I feel like the organization is looking at more so than wins and losses. They're looking at style of play, and they're looking at the fact of whether AP has kind of refined his game as a coach. Right? There's a lot of things that, from a football IQ standpoint that are very, very alarming for me. There are certain things that have happened this year. Like in the Denver game, the play that was called for Minshew to throw that ball by the goal line and it getting taken back 103 yards by Patrick Surtain, right? I wonder to myself, why are you calling that? I wonder myself, who told y'all that you can go into the season and have Madison and Zamir White and not have a real contingency plan? Who told them that? Like, you know what I'm saying? So these are the things you got to ask yourself. Yo, my guy, John Juice, why do people act like we're too harsh for wanting to move on from AP? When the Raiders beat the Ravens in week 2, Ravens fans wanted John Harbaugh fired. That's harsh to me. Yeah, he's a guy's actually won something. Let me tell you something. When I think of Antonio Pierce and I think of, interim head coaches, there have not been a lot of interim head coaches that have had a mark of success. I think Coach AP caught the team and they caught lightning in a bottle and everything was great. But at the end of the day, when you start really, really, really digging into this, man, it is becoming more clear to me that he is in over his head. I'm sorry. I don't have any way to contextualize that right now. I really don't. Ruben Russ, some of y'all sound like car fans. All he needs. And, bro, this is something Graphic I spoke on. We talked about it in the last Graphic Oasis show. Shout out to Graphic Rated, right? I don't want Antonio Pierce to be the new if was a fifth guy like DC. Ruben Russ touched on it. Graphic and I talked about this. Yo, if the sky's purple and if the world, rotates on a different axis, and if this and if that, he can be great. No. I just want him to be great. And I just want to win. And I'm going to tell you something. When you start talking about whomever on this team, if you're not part of the solution, you are part of the problem. Because I don't have any more years to waste watching shitty football. And I'm not being erratic either. Either you do the job or the job does you. We're looking at style of play, decision-making, how you deal with your staff, the decisions you made shaping your staff. These things fall on Antonio Pierce. Ain't no two ways about it. Pessimist and Frank. AP, in way of his head, he has 30 assistants. So, rating. Don't even, when Gruden went 4-12 his first year back as head coach in 2018. Next season was 7-9 before he got fired when we started hot in 2020. Just give AP is not John Gruden, bro. He is not John Gruden. This is a guy, the ownership, us as a fan base, and the players forced the owner's hand. He gave them what they want. And guess what? You got it now. And now you see the results of what you wanted. What's wrong with realizing that you were wrong and you made a mistake and moving on instead of trying to die on a hill that is not a realistic hill? It's not realistic. And it doesn't have to be Ben Johnson. It could be Slowick. It could be anybody. But what I'm telling you is this, man. This is a guy who has not been a head coach higher than high school. This is a man who has never been a coordinator on the NFL level. He does not have the resume. He don't have the chops. We brought him in. We liked the swagger. We liked all of those little parlor tricks. The car, the 6'4", the black Reeboks, the pain, ill intent, and violence. And what we get this. right? And this is not about the roster for me. This is about the style of play and the decision-making process. The decision-making is what worries me. The fact that he doesn't have the breadth of knowledge from a play calling perspective to change things is an issue for me. My guy, S. Dot with the $10 holler, man. Quick question. Was AP's assessment to not go for it on 3rd and 1 early in games was a bad call, and later in games at the goal line, the trash man Homer Simpson James proved he can run and get to the first down? Bro, there's a lot of decisions that baffle me, bro, and they're concerning, and it's not getting any better. If AP were making these miscues last season, okay, fine. The beginning of the season, fine. But week after week after week, no. There's an issue there. There's an issue afoot. My guy, the McFly with the $20 holler, just because. Let him know. Bet US, OG. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, my dog. And yo, have you guys gone over Bet US? I bet you haven't. Listen, if you go over Bet US, get 100%, 150% of your deposit, up to $2,000 on your first deposit. And on your next 2 deposits, up to $2,000, get 125%. Going over to Bet US, listen, fastest payouts in the industry, most comprehensive sports book to date. Let me tell y'all something, man. Yo, even beyond that, you get 24/7 personalized service, 365 a year. Make sure you use YouTube code 150 if you want to do that. Going over to Bet US, man. Tell them Wasted Talent sent y'all, man. Going for it on 4th and goal was not dumb, if you get it. But I would have taken a field goal. But also, look, bro, it's not just. I don't want to just point out. I'm just talking about the whole style, the game management, the errant timeouts, things like that matter, bro. It matters. And guess what? I'm not willing to see a situation where we go and get a young quarterback and we don't have the mind and the building to cultivate that talent. Because let me tell you something. What do you think Patrick Mahomes looks like without having Andy Reid in the building? What does that look like? Look at any team in this league that's successful. Andy Reid, if he's nothing else, he is a goddamn genius calling plays. He's a genius. Andy Reid has made coaches. He has been a winner. But the thing is, having an Andy Reid in the building and developing Patrick Mahomes has paid dividends beyond measure. Kyle Shanahan has paid dividends beyond measure. This guy has Mr. Irrelevant at quarterback. The last guy picked in the draft, he used that particular gentleman and went to a Super Bowl with him. He went to a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo. Yes, he did. Sean McVay, hell of a play caller. Kevin O'Connell, hell of a play caller. Mike Tomlin, hell of a coach, hell of a leader, right? The difference between Pierce and these guys is that if you look at their resume pre-head coach, it is extensive. And it shows you that with everything in life that you do, what you put in is what you get out. If you put the work in and you build towards something, you will get it back 10, 12-fold. You will get that back. Antonio Pierce, pre-head coach, has not put enough work to deserve being a head coach. And I called for Antonio Pierce because we got caught up in the emotion. I'm a fan too, y'all. This is the first time, that was the first time that I can honestly say that I let my emotions get the best of me when it came to a situation like that. I'm going to put my cards on the table, and I don't care. But this season, has slapped me across the face with the reality hand. I've been slapped across the face with reality. The reality is that you don't win in the National Football League if you don't have an innovative, great mind at the helm, at the top of the pyramid. It's not about hiding his deficiencies and getting other people to do everything. Because when it's time to make that decision, you got to have the wealth of knowledge to know what button to push, no matter what. That's what it is being a head coach. I think Antonio Pierce will be a great head coach one day. I do. But I don't think, I can't allow Antonio Pierce to learn on the dime of the Raiders. I can't allow Antonio Pierce to learn on the dime of our time. We don't know how much time we have left on this planet. And before I leave, before my days are done and my story is told, I want to see this team win another Super Bowl. I love this team. This is my favorite team. Out of all of the teams I support the Yankees and the Knicks, the Raiders. That is the, listen, if you could tell me that my Raiders will win a Super Bowl, I won't watch nothing else. The Raiders are my favorite team by far. It's not even close. It ain't even close, man. And I'm trying to tell you something. I need this. You need this. Mark Davis needs this. The Raiders brand needs this. It is an embarrassment that we go in our stadium and it's filled up with opposing fans. And it's probably always going to be that because Las Vegas is such a transient town. But you can't tell me an event town like Las Vegas that winning does. Everybody wants to be attached to a winner. Everybody loves a winner. And people say, AP don't have that much power. That's not necessarily the case. AP doesn't have that much knowledge as a head coach. As a football player and a guy that's been around the game, you can't take it from him. He knows the game. He played the game at the highest level and was very successful at that. But coaching and playing are two totally different ministries. Hey, Wasted, ignore the bad couple of brain farts from AP at times. But if we had a better QB, how many times do you think we'd have won if how many times do you think we would have won just if that changed? I think that we'd be closer to 500. Do I think we'd be running away with the division? Probably not. And it depends on what level of quarterback we're talking about, right? Like a better quarterback in what context? If we have a superstar under center, yeah, that changes things, right? Right. I've watched Aaron Rodgers drag Mike McCarthy to a Super Bowl and win it, and perennially drag Mike McCarthy throughout the playoffs year after year after year. I've seen that. But I'm talking about sustained excellence, right? I'm talking about the Raiders taking the road less travel, going to get the next quarterback, the next great young guy, the next great offensive mind. Go out there and find that. And until you have that, you should continue to pound the grindstone to find that. A guy, Jack Burton. Okay, here's a question. We move from AP. We still don't get Ben Johnson. Who's the guy after him? Bobby Slowick's a guy that you can bring in. Bobby Slowick is brilliant, man. Go get somebody from the Shanahan coaching tree. Go to college. Like, bro, whatever. But we need somebody who is a more accomplished coach. I am sorry. You cannot have a guy that is a novice coach coaching one of the preeminent sports franchises in all of sports. You cannot have that. I'm sorry. My guy. That's LS the damages. So Ben Johnson is going to have all the same responsibilities as AP and call offensive plays. And we don't think he might struggle too. We don't even know if AP is trying to win right now. I'm just saying, bro, look, if you believe that the Raiders are telling that man to go out there and tank, that's bullshit. That don't happen, bro. I'm sorry. And I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, I could see Ben Johnson doing. Ben Johnson has been coaching at a high level for a long time, bro. I don't think he struggles the same way AP does. I don't think he struggles with down and distances, what play to call, because his mind, he has an offensive play caller's mind. It's like almost like a flow. I think having a head coach that has that breadth of knowledge is it's worth its weight in gold. Having a head coach who can say things to the quarterback and recognize things to the quarterback to get him on the right track. I'm sorry, man. My guy, Jordan Lumpkin, we talk about AP way too much and not about the players not making plays. You don't give a coach 1 year and turn around an organization. That's been making bad decisions. If you think AP has 100% on what goes on, you crazy. Shake my head. See, that's bullshit. Because not only does AP have 100% on the field, he's the head coach. Nobody is making any more calls than him. And if he doesn't, why is that? Because head coaches should have 100% of the say. So if he doesn't and they feel like he's not worthy of that, then that's an indictment of who should be the coach or not. And when we start talking about, 1 year head coaches, 1 year head coaches, you can look in our organization. You can look in our organization. We had a guy who was a 1 year head coach in our organization years ago. Right? We had a coach that was a 1 year head coach, and there was a lot of people who wanted him. It was the same exact scenario. The same exact scenario. It was just years ago, right? And it was the Joe Bugle situation. The Joe Bugle situation was very similar to the AP situation. And Joe Bugle was way, way, way more accomplished than Antonio Pierce. This guy was the architect of the Hogs. Way more accomplished. We fired Joe Bugle, right? We fired Joe Bugle. And do you know who the next head coach for the Raiders was after we did that? Because Joe Bugle spent 3 seasons with the Raiders, but he served as an assistant head coach from 95 to 96. Mike White got fired. And in 1996, he was promoted to head coach for the 97 season. It was the same scenario as AP. And it didn't go well, and the Raiders were bad. And Al Davis turned right around, and he fired him. And do you know who was hired right after that? And you tell me if that was the right decision. I mean, do you guys want to guess who was hired right after Joe Bugle? Do you? Y'all tell me. Who got all my longtime Raider fans? Thank you. You know who got hired right after Joe Bugle? You're damn right, man. Yeah. It's me, man. No, it wasn't Mike White, man. It was me. Al Davis wanted to hire me the year before that. You know what happened? The players went upstairs and they demanded that they hire Joe Bugle. The players were behind Joe Bugle. And Al Davis, man, he listened to the guys, man. He hired Joe Bugle, man. Let me tell you something, man. It's the biggest mistake he ever made, man. Because right after they got rid of Joe Bugle, man, they hired this guy here, man, Young Chucky, man. Let me tell you something, man. I was a hell of a coach, man, when I came over here, man. Got you guys to a Super Bowl. Huh? I wasn't even a coach when you got to a Super Bowl, man. But I turned this organization around, man. I know you guys were going to say something, man. You're going to say Dennis Allen, man, but it was Joe Bugle, man. Let me tell you something, man.
How did that make you guys feel, me being the head coach of the Raiders, man? Huh? 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 You guys want to talk about fucking nightmares? It's a nightmare we go through another season of Antonio Pierce, man. I'll tell you guys something, man. I'm sorry, but I had to, man. I'm sorry, man. Sorry.
But guys, for real. For real. Listen, look.
Not subscribe goes, yo, with the
guys, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But guys, this is the kind of stuff that happens in the National Football League. It's not the first and it's not the last time. It's not the first and it's not the last time, guys. The one and done thing in the history of the league it's happened a lot, man. It's happened a lot over the years. And I'm not going to go all the way through, right? Listen, Arshell was a one and done, right? It didn't happen. Cam Cameron, Bobby Petrino, Jim Mora Jr., Marty Schottenheimer, great coach, 2001 with the freaking Washington Redskins. Hugh Jackson with the Raiders has been done before. Mike Mularkey, Jim Tomasula, Urban Meyer. And I'm going to give you guys a person that you might want to look at. Now, David Culley from the Houston Texans in 2001 was a grand opening, grand closing situation. 1 year guy, right? David Culley was a 1 year guy. People said he got a raw deal. And you know who the Texans hired after that? Do you know who the Texans? Listen, they hired D'Amico Ryans. Do you think that was the decision to make? I'm just asking you, right? So we look at the metric in this league now, right? We look at the Texans, right? We're looking at that. We want that kind of success, right? Let me tell you something, man. Sometimes you have to be brave enough to realize you made a mistake. Seven Divine. Why don't we build like Parcells does? That's how every team's supposed to be built from the inside out. Offensive, defensive line, early picks. We keep going for wild picks and it's not working. That's not necessarily true. The biggest problem with the Raiders is, and this is just how I see it. The biggest problem with us is we have too many people, too many cooks in the kitchen. We got too many changes right now. I know that goes against the parameters of what I'm talking about, right? But if you look at the Raiders from 2011 on, right, the Mark Davis years, Reggie McKenzie came in. He was recommended highly by Ron Wolf. He hired Dennis Allen because he was the hot young commodity. He was a defensive coach. We had a bad roster. Reggie did well in the draft. He cleaned our cap space up. He set us up for success. The DA thing didn't work. They got rid of DA. They wanted to bring back Gruden. Gruden didn't want to leave the booth. They went. They brought in Jack Del Rio, a Hayward kid, Hayward, California, guy that, grew up a Raider fan. He sold it to the fan base, and it worked out better than they thought. Can't get mad at that. They got Carr, they got Mac. We were rolling. We going to the playoffs. And I'm going to be honest with you. Reggie Mack just ran out of steam as far as where he's picking guys. But he was building his team. His team was going in a decent direction. The biggest mistake Mark Davis made was bringing Gruden back. And when you start talking about building from the trenches, if you can build for the trenches, you can identify guys for the trenches like we have done, right? But when you got the wrong guy picking those guys in the trenches, it does not go the way you want it to go. I'm gonna be honest with you. We're the same organization we took Alex Leatherwood. We took Alex Leatherwood, bro. There were other guys in that draft for us to take. We did try to build from the inside out. We just picked the wrong freaking guys. Look, man, you say what you want to say. You can say what you want to say, right? I don't like calling for people's jobs, right? I know we got a lot of injuries. I know we don't have the quarterback. But I also know what it looks like when somebody knows what they're doing on the sideline. And that doesn't just get better. Nostalgia and inconsistency are two of the things that have haunted this organization. So those two things are coming to a clash in a head now. So we can get nostalgic because we love the way AP made us feel and his team made us feel last year, right? We got nostalgic and we jumped out the window about some mid-success, which is not really success. Mid-success. It's not real success. We don't really know what real success looks like. Right, Kristian Darrisaw was on the board. The problem is having good people in the building in the wrong job. The NFL is a big league. There's a lot of jobs for AP. At this point in the journey, being a head coach it's not the gig for him, bro. It's not, and I'm sorry. Everybody, Champ Kelly. Man, I don't care. No, been bad. I beg to differ. I beg to differ, Ben Bad. Ben Bad, you are a super knowledgeable general of the get off my lawn game. I respect you, Ben Bad. I respect your opinion, but we gotta agree to disagree right here, man. We gotta agree to disagree because what I'm gonna say to you is this. It is not the fact that we are firing coaches that we're a bad football team. It's not the fact that we keep bringing new people in. It's the fact that when we do it, we're bringing the freaking wrong people in. We're bringing the wrong head coaches in. We're bringing the wrong guys to make the decisions in. Standing pat doesn't work when the wrong guy's in the job. Right? So look, so when you talk about John Gruden, right? We're going back, right? We're doing a little nostalgia tonight. Gruden scouts were from the Braille Institute. Gruden scouts were probably not bad. J-Ro, I got you. I'm going to go back and read everything. The scouts probably were good guys. I don't think Mike Mayock was like totally inept. But the problem is when you have a guy that has all the autonomy that doesn't listen to the people that are paid to do that job, that means you're not the best leader. You are not the guy that should be in charge. See, good leaders know how to listen to the people that they paid to do a job. So it's not about hiring or firing. It's about hiring and firing the wrong people. And I think the biggest mistake that Mark Davis has had is his nostalgia fetish. Instead of looking into the future of the Raiders and trying to figure out who the future is of the Raiders, Mark Davis's problem has been that he is trying to rekindle and recapture something in the past. That's been the biggest problem. And a lot of the times, things that were once good aren't good in the future. I am not going to say that John Gruden was not a good coach for us at one time. John Gruden Act 2 was markedly worse. It was bad, especially with more power. Art Shell, the first time around, was a good coach for us. Wasn't a good... Art Shell 2.0 2006 was horrible. Shout out to my guy Hammer. Shout out to my brother, East Coast, gritted it on. The great and powerful Dante, man. So when you talk about Mark Davis and when we call for his head, that's the biggest mistake Mark Davis has made, having a nostalgia fetish. Very convenient. The same mistakes each week. My guy, LS the Damager, with the $2 holla. My guy, J. Rowe, with the $20 smackaroony. Getsy's pressers sound a whole lot different than Graham's. Getsy is on execution and players. All of us. Graham's, it's on me. I need to coach better. I need to coach it better. And that is also, bro, Luke Getsy, when he was with Chicago, sometimes you got to cut your losses, man. You got to see this guy is who he is. Yeah, it's on execution. Yeah, we're down some players, right? But it's also, there's a flow of the game, right? There's also play calling in crucial situations. Goal line, things like that. You have some play callers in this league that if you a yard away, they got me, you, and you. They're going to find a way to scheme a guy open for you to be successful to score. He's not that guy. It's not that guy, pal. It's not that guy, pal. Wasted. Just curious. As a Knicks and Yankee fan, I'm assuming you're from the East Coast. What made you decide on the Raiders? OG's origin story. We listen. We this has been much talked about over my years as a Raider fan. But it's a family thing, right? I have family members that have influenced me as a young child as a Raider fan, right? And when I was a kid, I remember sitting there and watching that 1983 Super Bowl. Very, very young kid, right? And loving Marcus Allen and loving Howie, right? And then growing up and being a little older and being a fanatic of Bo Jackson's. I have family from the Bay Area. It's a family thing. But, be that as it may, right? As I got older and I started making my decisions because I could have wavered and went to another team, the thing that kept me around was my love for the players of the Raiders, the mystique of the Raiders, what the Raiders stood for, and Al Davis and what he stood for. You know what I'm saying? And the way he hired people and the way he gave people chances and the way we were the renegades of the league. And it's just everything about the Raiders, man. Listen, man, I've gone over this ad nauseum at times, man. My guy, Richard Dishok. What are some of your positives about AP? I love AP as a guy, as a leader as far as of men and being he's a great communicator. But other than him being a great communicator and being a hell of a person, you know what I'm saying? And him being a man's man, there's not a whole lot to love about AP as a coach now that I've contextualized him and I've given him a full calendar year. He doesn't have what it takes to be successful at this level as an NFL coach. And I'm sorry. You guys can call me a bandwagon jumper. You can speak like, yo, you were wrong. You know what? We all fall short of glory. I can't sit up here and see a way and a metric that AP is successful in this league unless he has people pulling all of the strings and he's just a pedestrian watching them. My guy A Spivey with 5 Raider Nation Unlimited memberships. Thank you guys for making a Wasted Talent Army grow in droves. Thank A Spivey for sprinkling memberships on all of y'all. Thank you, Spivey, for being the Kevin Nash of Shieldmore and protecting the sanctity of the Wasted Talent Army. Appreciate you, my brother. Remember Arshell 2.0, the bed and breakfast office? Oh, yeah, I remember that very, very vividly, my brother. My guy S. Dot. Hey, Wasted. Without Davante Adams and the Raiders having the Philadelphia Eagles line of last year, will we be successful? If you say yes, then what the F is you talking about? S. Dot, no. Bro, I'm not thinking that we should be successful, right? But the thing about all of this, when I look at this, right, it's not just about the wins and losses. And I know everybody says it's all about winning and losses, right? It's how we're losing these games. It's how AP is handling some of these. I've seen teams that are bad football teams lose that are well-coached teams. They just don't have enough talent. This is an amalgamation of a shitty roster right now and injuries and shitty coaching, right? I can look and I can say to myself, hey, yo, this team's doing bad, but the quarterback's hurt. But, yo, I like that play that he called. I liked him calling a timeout in that situation. I liked him going for that. That was a good situation. With AP, I haven't seen him make any decision, whether we've been healthy or not, that I could say, yo, I love that he did that. Right? Then I got to ask myself, whose man's is Gardner Minshew? Whose man's is this? Who decided to do that? When I look at Luke Getsy, whose man's is this? Who decided to do that? I got to ask. Somebody got to wear the brunt of that. We say Tommy T, we don't know. Then, when it was time to make the decision on who was going to start, Gardner Minshew? Whose man's is that? Whose man's is that? Jack Jones, if he don't pick it up, and he played great last year. I'm not going to sit up here and kill a Jack Jones decision, but this year, right, that's your man. When you talk about business decisions, that should never be an issue with the Raiders because he's supposed to be a motivator. I'm supposed to lean on Antonio Pierce. If I can't lean on him from X's and O's, I got to lean on him to be a leader and to have these guys ready to play. If we had issues with that, then that's an issue too. Rambo Adventures. The reality is AP continues to regress. He is more lost on the sideline now more than ever. He is not a off or defensive guru. Time to pull the scab. TB12 will fire him. And I'm going to tell you something. You can't tell me that a guy like Tom Brady, who played for Bill Belichick, when he talks about it's weird when you start talking about Brady when you hear Brady talking about Belichick, right? Because sometimes you think, God damn, man, Brady looks like he don't ever want to talk to Bill again. And then he is effusive of his praise of Bill Belichick. When you start seeing guys like Julian Edelman talking about Bill Belichick, they give it up to him. They were the most prepared team. They were this and that. Tom Brady played for Bill Belichick and Bruce Effin Arians. Bro, he know what this shit look like. And if he's a guy that's a major factor, I know he's a minority owner, but he was not brought in. That move didn't happen in a vacuum. I'm telling you right now, Do I think Tom Brady's going to hire Bill Belichick? No. Do I want him to hire Bill Belichick? No. But what I'll tell you is that if that is what his metric and measuring stick is for what a head coach is, Bruce Arians and Bill Belichick, let me tell you something. They're going to change the head coach this year. They're not going to say, oh, we're going to just keep him just because. There's a reason why we don't know what Antonio Pierce's contract looks like. I'm telling you right now. And I didn't want to derail the show and just talk about him. I'm going to be honest with you. Wasted. If I said to you, I'm chilling, Gizmo's chilling, what would I say to you? What more can I say to you is top billing? And that's what we get. You got it good. And since you understood, would you clap your hands? Your hands are clapped. If girls to me, it's your girl out smack. And step up if you want to get hurt. Oh my God, J-Rose, stop it, bro. Stop it. Stop it, man. Listen, I want to say one thing. I want to get off of this Antonio Pierce shit, right? So, crazy story. I wanted a Bo Jackson rookie card. My homie had, and I traded him for a Michael Jordan rookie card for this Bo Jackson rookie card. My dad whooped my ass, but I just wanted Bo's rookie card. Shout out to Joe Vigil, 999. Thank you, bro, for donating to the channel, my brother. Man, look, man, it's crazy, man, because at that time, it was like this with Jordan and Bo, right? It's like, man, Mike great in basketball, but Bo's great at baseball and football. You just never knew Bo was going to. If Bo would have continued to play, bro, that wouldn't have been such a bad trade, bro. It wouldn't have been. But a Michael Jordan rookie card is crazy, bro. Yo, Mario Andretti Lopez. My LA Dodgers 2024 World Series champs again. West Coast, the best. West Coast wasted. Yo, I just want to say something to you, bro. I want to say, I know you guys are going to say, like, hey, man, some people that are good people, they'll say, man, congratulations to the Dodgers. Shout out to the Dodgers, the world champion Dodgers, man. We'll get them next year. Yo, congratulations to the Dodgers, right? That's what a good person would say. Me being the Yankee fan that I am, I want to just say to all of y'all, fuck the Dodgers. F Shohei Ohtani. F him. F Freddie Freeman. And F the Dodgers as an organization and a fan base. F them. And Aaron Judge, let me tell you something, Reese Rock. Aaron Judge, mother effer, you better hit 60 home runs next year. And you better power us to a World Series. It's time. It's been 2009 since we won a World Series. We're the effing Yankees. And Soto, you better bring your ass back to the Yankees. And let me tell you something, Steinbrenner. Hal Steinbrenner, you little cheap bastard. You better go and sign Juan Soto, and you better go get us another pitcher, too. And a reliever. Freddie Krueger. F him. The last World Series you bums are winning. F you. Okay. Yeah, it was terrible. That was nasty work when they did the Mookie Betts. That was terrible, yo. Yo, Hammer, get the F out of here, Hammer. You're about to be Hammer. I know you're Shieldmore, but you can get unceremoniously blocked too with this Dodger filth. The F out of here, Hammer. Damn right I'm salty. F the Dodgers. It's like, nah, yo, shout out to the Dodgers, man. Shout out to the fan base. Well deserved. That's one of the great organizations. I love the fact that, the organization of Jackie Robinson is still viable in baseball. right? Because like, a lot of older, we spoke about this last week when the Dodgers was in it. There's like most of, my older relatives that, passed on and stuff, they were Dodgers fans because that was the team who really, really, represented Black America, right? Just from the perspective of being a Black man, right? There was a lot of, like Roy Campanella and all them guys. Look, man, if you ask my grandparents, right, they were Dodgers fans, bro. They loved the Dodgers. My old aunts and stuff like that. So, shout out to the Dodgers, man. Look, so Hartford World Series, a great team. It was well put together team. Yo, shout out to them, yo. But hopefully, listen, and with the Yankees, I'm not a hater, bro, because I've seen my Yankees win a lot in my life. And I hope I can see him win some more. But shout out to the Dodgers, man. There's no hate. It was a great freaking series. For them, they did great. Freddie Freeman is a monster. You know what I'm saying? And it was well deserved, man. It was well deserved. Well deserved, man. I was here to see all 27 of them. Shout out to y'all, man. Yeah, and F Hammer too, man. Bro, money aside, the front office should be the blueprint for Mark Davis to copy. Baseball is a different sport, though, bro. It's a different sport, man. It's just different than football. It's just different. It's different. I think if you talk about following the blueprint of the Dodgers, right, you got Magic Johnson in that with that blueprint, right? Magic is up there. We got the Magic Johnson of football. One of the cornerstone winners in football. You got Tom Brady here, right? So let's see what that happens. Potbelly. Only way Yankees win another World Series if they start cheating like Houston. No, it's not true. All the Yankees got to go out there to do. The Yankees have the foundation of pieces offensively. They need to just get a little bit better in the pitching staff. Add a few pieces in the bullpen. The Yankees would be ready to roll. And to be honest with you, I think they need to abandon all of the metrics and sabermetric shit. Just like how, game one, we're still playing baseball if they don't sit Garrett Cole down at 88 pitches. It's the World Series. You let him pitch. Be honest with you. So I don't think so. My guy, Sacktown Raider Mike, what it is. Graphic and wasted update. Pinhead is out of the ICU. Should be going home soon. Yo, shout out to Pinhead. God bless Pinhead. I'm glad that the man is safe and he's going home, man. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you for letting us know. Shout out to Pinhead. God bless him, bro. Bobby Washington. He's the Shador Sanders. What the heck is going on here, man? Shador holds the ball too long, wasted. Bro, that could be the case, but that might not be a bad thing, right? In the NFL. As far as, him standing in the pocket and not trying to take off and run and, him looking down the field. Look, I'm not going to talk about Shador Sanders until the season is over. We see what we're going to do from a draft perspective, and we can really break him down. Let's let him go. Let's let him get through the bowl season. Let's let him win. And then when it comes time, we will start talking more and more about Shador. I like Shador. I like him, man. I think he's a winner. I love how he moves in the pocket without taking off the run. That's one of the things. I love his vision down the field. I love his mentality. I love Shador's mentality, man. El Bruno. Look how crazy people win when the Dodgers won. Imagine if the Raiders win the Super Bowl. People are going to go effing nuts. And you know what's funny about the Raiders, and I think the world ain't ready for this, right? If the Raiders win a Super Bowl in Las Vegas, right? Las Vegas is not a sports town. People will celebrate like hell, right? Because they're Raiders, right? But the funny thing about the Raiders is that we're going to be celebrating in 3 places, bro. They're going to have to celebrate in the Bay, right? And they definitely got to celebrate in LA. That'll be insane, bro. My God, you imagine that? There's going to be 3 cities that are going to be turned absolutely upside down if the Raiders win. Absolutely upside down. I don't think nobody ready for that. You gonna have 3 towns burning, bruh. Burning. Yeah, you damn right. Yo, it's gonna be an LA parade, an Oakland parade, and a Las Vegas parade. But guys, listen, man. I think it's time to pull the train into the train station, man. I think it's time for you know, Raiders Unlimited end. We went extra long because it's Friday. You know, and it's you know, I haven't been on all week. I've missed all of you greatly. I appreciate all of you guys for pulling up and setting the table here. Dante, yeah, man. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to the Miami game. So I'm gonna be down there. But Dante, I'm gonna talk to you off the air, man. I got Raider Prophet, man. Blessed to you and the fam and Wasted Fam. Is Patrick Graham off the table for you as head coach? Yeah. I don't really want a defensive head coach. And to be honest with you, I don't want somebody here that's a leftover. Like if we get rid of Antonio Pierce, I want to take every single person in the building who's a coach and go get him out of here and let that guy come and really put together his staff. For real, man. That's where I'm at with it. My God, if the Raiders win the Super Bowl, all of California will celebrate. You right, Potbelly. It's going to be crazy, bro. And the Raiders are going to win the Super Bowl in the next 5 years. In times. I heard y'all wanted Mike Williams. We'll give y'all Higgins for a first round. Man, get the F out of here for you get unceremoniously blocked. The F is wrong with you. Guys, thank you guys for pulling up, man. Why shouldn't you be tired? Been off all week. What you mean, bro? Dog, let me tell you something, man. You know I have a long and successful career, my brother. You know what I'm saying? It's not just this too. This has become a career as well, right? Of sorts. But yeah, nah, man, I got a lot. I had a lot going on, my brother. But shout out to y'all. Love every single one of y'all. And I appreciate you guys for pulling up. But let me tell you something. This might be the last time that you guys see this guy because I blame him single-handedly for the Yankees losing the World Series.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
The price is gone through the damn roof. And really quick on the way out, my guy Brooklyn Opinion with the $5 holler, man. Would you trade for Malik Willis and draft a wide receiver? At this point, no. No, I'm not trading for Malik Willis, bro. No, he's not the guy who's going to lead us in the future. But, guys, y'all have a great night, nation. We going to get the F out of here, man. Love every single one of y'all. Peace, man.